Hey guys, what's up? It's your friendly neighborhood UberGoose here, back again with another End of the Gungeon video. I'm gonna play the bullet on this one, because I fucking feel like it. That's it, I got nothing. I have no intro, I have nothing to talk about. I'm just gonna, flounder a bit until something suddenly pops into my brainium, and when it does, you'll be sure to hear about it. Worst case scenario, I can just talk about the video game that you guys are watching. But, fuck that shit, right? Who wants to hear about End of the Gungeon? What fucking kind of idiot would want to hear about Gungeon shit? Look, I'm really floundering. How about this? I'll talk about... I got it. Here we go. Let's talk about Thor Ragnarok briefly. Because, it's on Netflix. Well, the US Netflix, I guess. Because we have different Netflixes in different places, which actually bothers the shit out of me, by the way. Hey, perfect. I'm glad I came up with this. Because now I can rant about something that actually kind of bothers me. There's this movie called Annihilation. You probably heard of it. I haven't seen it yet, and I really want to see it. But here's the thing about Annihilation. There was something weird when it came to releasing the movie, where basically, domestically, it's, in theaters, or was in theaters, and then nationally, or internationally, I guess, it was not in theaters. Instead, it was only via Netflix. So I was like, hey, I want to watch this movie on Netflix. And Netflix is like, hey, you're from America? So you're not allowed to watch this on Netflix because it's not on fucking US Netflix for some reason. Am I retarded? Hello? I did blank. Or maybe I'll have to blank again. I don't know. Which upsets me, because I really want to watch that movie, and my brother was telling me it's fucking great. And, if my brother is telling me a movie's great, and this is a very important piece of information, and I am interested in it already, then it should be pretty damn good. So no fucking spoilers, alright? Because I know there's a lot of weird, crazy shit that happens in that movie. And that reminds me, I should watch Ex Machina. Because Ex Machina, it's by the same dude, the same director as Annihilation. And apparently Ex Machina is very similar to Annihilation in that it's also fucking weird. Lots of crazy shit happens in it, and people lose their minds over it. And apparently it's just really fucking good. And also Poe Dameron's in it, which is cool. What's his actual name? Oscar Isaac, right? Yeah. I think, by the way, I think Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron is actually a great character. Like, I could talk about the new Star Wars shit. Because the thing is, right, I know a lot of people are, like, pretty upset about new Star Wars as of late. Probably fair. But I like it. I think The Last Jedi was not a great film, but it was an enjoyable movie. There was some shit that, well, I mean, there were some parts where I kind of started treating it a little bit as a comedy. Here's some Last Jedi spoilers for you, spoiler warning. The part where you got fucking Leia Poppins, it's like, I don't know, man. Look, I get it, alright, I understand. Oh, this is dumb. Ooh, big fucking yikes, bud. I guess I'm not opening? Yeah, okay, never mind. I was gonna walk over and maybe open it, but I'll just go this way and just not. Like, look, I get it. They were like, well, we can't kill off Leia. And then, of course, the horrible thing occurred after filming had finished, where Carrie Fisher passed away. So it's like, it's obvious that their plan was basically that, well, we're not gonna kill off Leia, right? We need her for future things. And it just kind of, I don't know. I don't think it worked. Basically, is what it fucking comes down to. Is I don't think that sequence worked. I think a lot of pieces of The Last Jedi just didn't work. I think that it had some ideas that were okay, and executionally it may have been one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it's not that bad. He says after calling it the worst movie execution ever. It's not that bad, I promise. So maybe, do I actually have to like be in the center? I don't know. There's something wacky with this. I thought I had some cool ideas, and then it just all fucking fell apart. And also, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the greatest thing about Star Wars, like the best sequence probably in Star Wars, period, is actually probably the sequence with Rey and Kylo Ren on the flagship. I think that's probably one of the greatest sequences in Star Wars. And I fucking love it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I was watching a video that was talking about, you know, like, where The Last Jedi fucked up, basically. Like, you know, that's paraphrased, obviously, but, and, like, when it got to the part where they were, like, showing that sequence or whatever and talking about it, I got fucking goosebumps. I got me bumps. There is, I'm certain that there is indeed a barrel that exists somewhere, right? It normally is. I mean, there has to be one. I must have broken it, probably. Do I have another way? Yeah, I'm not seeing a barrel. I don't think the snowballer, does that do anything with agua? Oh shit, it fucking does. Alright, sick. We're actually in it. That's wonderful. So yeah, like, I think The Last Jedi had some good shit, and had some parts that were very, let's say, not well thought out. There's a water barrel. I haven't watched Solo. Frankly, I don't know. I saw Rogue One, and after watching Rogue One, I was like, this movie's great. I actually think Rogue One is a great movie. And then I just stopped giving a shit. I never really, like, I'm the only thing that I'm honestly interested in Solo, or the only thing that I am interested in seeing in Solo, the only thing that could possibly get me to watch it, is how interested I am in seeing how they portray the characters, specifically Han and Lando. Because frankly, the big criticism I saw of Solo before it actually, you know, was out, was people talking about the trailer being like, I don't know, he doesn't seem like Han. And I'm like, dude, he's got the fucking micro expressions. The dude he's clearly a good actor. Like, at least in the trailer, he very much is Han Solo. He copies the micro expressions of Harrison Ford tremendously well. The lines were believable. Again, I'm referring to the trailer because I haven't seen the actual movie. The actual movie is shit, which I've heard fairly negative things about. And it turns out that literally the only good parts of Han Solo, or that seemed like Han Solo, were in the trailer. Then, you know, I'll rescind what I said, I suppose. I would like a jar of bees. But I do think, just based on the trailer, I do think that the Han Solo character and the Lando character presumably are well acted, and I would be interested in seeing that. But I think the biggest issue that the Star Wars movies keep running into is that they're trying to just retread shit, right? And that's ironic because probably the worst of the newer Star Wars is The Last Jedi, and it intentionally attempted not to do any sort of retreading, period, right? The whole purpose of the movie was basically, what's his name? Rian Johnson, the director, writer guy, basically being like, yeah, well, you guys were upset that fucking Force Awakens is basically like A New Hope. Well, you'll never see what happens in this movie. I don't know, he's probably a nice guy, and he's probably actually a pretty good director. I don't fucking care. I probably shouldn't, you know, give him such a whiny voice in this example, but you know what, I did it, so fuck you, Rian Johnson. Suck my dick. I don't mean it, though. Like, probably he's a cool dude. I personally just don't like the film he made, and neither do a lot of other people. Anyway, the thing is, right, like, they have crutches, right? There's a lot of crutches going on. For example, one of the things that was super popular about the original trilogy, and even the prequels, of course, was the sidekick droid character, or characters. R2 and C-3PO, of course, are the ones I'm mostly referring to. And that's the thing is, like, I think Disney saw that, and they're like, okay, if you're making one of these Star Wars movies, you're going to have a sidekick droid character. And it's like, why? They don't need to be there, right? Like, you can have other characters, right? You don't need the sidekick droid. It's literally nothing but a crutch, and the worst thing about film writing is using crutches, right? Like, if you're using a crutch while writing a film, I got bad news for you, bud. Your film's not well written. Or at least that aspect of it is not well written. And the thing is, like, the reason I'm bringing this up, obviously, is, well, you had BB-8, which, honestly, I can give a pass. I can give a pass to BB-8, because, frankly, BB-8 actually, maybe not mattered, but was at least relevant to the plot, right? The BB-8 was made relevant to the plot, and I think BB-8 works, right? But then you got fucking, what a K something or other from Rogue One, and then you got whoever the fuck it is in Solo. And it's like, you don't need these. Why do they exist? What's the purpose of them existing? Selling toys? Because, you know, Disney told you to put fucking droids in the movie? Is that it? Is that literally it? Because I think it is. I think that's the sole purpose of them. And don't get me wrong, I actually kind of liked K whatever the fuck in Rogue One. You can tell I liked it because I can remember his name really well. But I don't see his purpose in the movie. And I think that that's one of the key issues in the new Star Wars films, and that's the fact that they do just have these crutches, right? And I do think, of the things The Last Jedi did, probably the best one was Rian Johnson literally just kicking the crutch out from under the future writers, right? Like, I actually think that that's a good thing. I think what Rian Johnson did, even if the film didn't end up being very good, I think what it is forcing upon the future films is good. And that might seem ridiculous, because I think it might be a little bit ridiculous, but I think that it has, I don't know, it has weight to it. You know, the things that happened in The Last Jedi, they have that weight, they have that permanence, and I think that, like I said, what it will do to the future films is good. It'll be like a necessary evil, except that it didn't have to be evil, it could have just been a good movie, but neither here nor there. I also just realized while talking about this that I just never fucking at any point really continued talking about Thor Ragnarok. How about I do that now? Thor Ragnarok was fucking good. There we go. I did it. I talked about Thor Ragnarok. I don't know. I don't really have much more to say. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was good. I think that it had some parts of it that didn't exactly work, but they weren't, they didn't not work in the way that, like, ruins the experience, right? They, like, just didn't work, and you're just like, oh, okay, that didn't work, right? And then you move on. And from what I've read about Thor Ragnarok, my understanding is that a hell of a lot of it was ad-lib, because it's, well, I mean, it's basically a comedy, and apparently it's just, like, classic comedy to just ad-lib shit. Or at least in Judd Apatow's world. And I think it worked though. I think all the ad-libbing worked pretty damn well. Except for, of course, like I said, a couple spots here or there where that didn't quite work for me, but maybe they work for somebody else. So Collective Medal of Valor is great. Very happy about this. I'm pretty stoked about the way this run is going, by the way. Let's bring it all the way back and talk about this run, huh? Pretty stoked. Feels good. It's going well. Quite tempted to just sell the Corsair, because I actually just don't like this gun, so I'm just gonna get some money for it. I think it's a cool gun, I just don't think it's a good gun. And I do think Bs are gonna be better than bombs, so I'll take that, and then unfortunately I can't afford any more armor. And then let's blank here, great. And then, oh yeah, I should probably go to the post-boss room, huh? But yeah, so I saw Infinity War before I saw Thor Ragnarok. So, like, in Thor Ragnarok, I had that moment where, like, every turbo nerd, right, ever, when they're... Oh, we're just fucking blanking this one, it's huge. Every turbo nerd ever who, like, knows the source material when something gets adapted somewhere else, right, where, like, you lean over to the person watching the movie with you and you're just like, I know who that is. Right? You're like, that's Heimdall. I know this. He's the keeper of the Bifrost. Right? Like, that's basically what I do. My poor dad. But... yeah, it was good. It was a good movie. And I honestly, I do think actually seeing Infinity War, it's this weird thing, right? So, there's this, like, really observed, very unique sort of thing. It's fairly well observed with at least a couple studies. I'm sure there's probably more that I don't know about. But basically, it's been found that people actually tend to enjoy movies, like twist endings and such, sometimes, on average, more when it actually gets spoiled for them, which is weird, right? That's the sort of thing where, like, your gut instinct is to say, like, that's just false. But studies have shown that when they actually give people the information of what the thing is, people are much more interested, I guess is the way to put it. And this is actually shown by basically Alfred Hitchcock's whole fucking career, where, like, the thing is, Hitchcock is a goddamn genius, in case you guys have no idea. I mean, like, I'm pretty into the film, but I'm not a film student, so, you know, I'm not gonna, like, sit here and suck Alfred Hitchcock's dick for 30 minutes. This is a lot of keys. But what I will say is Alfred Hitchcock, I've seen a few of his, like, interviews where he talks about film making and such, relating to a whole bunch of stuff, cuts. There's one talk about cuts, like the way that you cut things to connect ideas and such, with the either happy old man or perverted man, right? That's very interesting. And then he has one where he talks about fucking the whole suspense, right? Because Hitchcock is a absolute master of suspense. That's like his fucking thing, right? And that's why M. Night Shyamalan tries so hard to make things that are actually suspenseful. Weirdly enough, Shyamalan has succeeded at some point in time. I don't know what happened to him, but that and twist ending. But, like, the thing, when he was talking about suspense, right, what's interesting is, like, when there's a scene, this is, like, very much just verbatim what Hitchcock said, mind you, or at the very least it is only mildly paraphrased. So, basically, imagine a scene where there's two men speaking at a table, right? They're just sitting at a table, talking to each other. That's it. That's the scene. Now, imagine that that's literally it. There's no more information to the scene. These are just two of the main characters, and they're talking at a table. Now, what you do is, instead of them just talking at the table, right, and then 1 minute into the scene, I guess let me clarify, like 1 minute into the scene, then the fucking table explodes, right, and both characters are dead or whatever. Now, imagine instead of that being the scene, imagine that there's a cut that shows into the underside of the table and shows you the bomb before it goes off. Right? And it cuts to that part. Now you have a minute-long scene just filled to the brim with suspense. Every word that they share is much more tense, right? There's this almost like, I don't know, it almost like asphyxiates you, right? Like, it's the sort of thing where you just feel so nervous about the whole thing that you just can't fucking breathe while you're watching this sequence where these two characters are just talking to each other while there's a fucking bomb under the table, right? And that's the sort of thing that I think lends credence to the idea that people actually kind of want things to be spoiled. Not that they want to be spoiled, rather, but that something being spoiled doesn't necessarily reduce the enjoyment. In fact, in the study, it was found that it increased the enjoyment. I fucking did it. I was like, I'm going to blank this fight because I need to get this fucking master round. I did it. I blanked the fight and I got the goddamn master round. Let us actually go. Oh, that felt good. Don't worry, I'm not leaving it. I'm just checking for cigarettes. So yeah, like, in a sense, knowing, like, the ending to a thing, right? Knowing the ending to a movie or the twist ending or whatever the case may be can actually enhance your enjoyment of the thing. Which is why I actually really liked Thor Ragnarok. I think part of it was due to that fact, that idea. What the fuck are you? Oh, the M1! I should recognize that weapon. Because I like that weapon. I think it's a cool one. One of the few weapons that I actually know in the real world. I think I talked about this. I shot a gun like once when I was in this thing called Indian Guides. Hell yeah, I'm sick as fuck. So, this sucks. I guess I'll just blank here. I was in this thing called Indian Guides, which is definitely not called that anymore. And in it, oh, let's go! Let's go! Oh my god, this is, okay, that's actually the greatest situation that could have ever occurred. Let us fucking go. And in there, we went to a whole bunch of just different camps all over the place. Like summer camp type thing. Basically Boy Scouts, but, you know, Indian Guides. And one of the places that we went, it had an archery range, it had a gun range, it had... I think that was also the one that had this enormous rock climbing, like, sculpture. Not a wall, like, it was this pillar that you could rock climb up and then you could zip line down. It was fucking sick as shit. Oh, this is gonna suck. I need to get rid of these glasses. I have a man who follows me around and creates explosions. Yeah. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I'll get used to it and I'll live with it. Anyway, so I shot a gun. That was the only time in my life that I've ever shot a firearm. And I don't remember what kind of gun it was. All I remember is that it was like a shitty little dinky... I don't even know what to fucking call it. Rifle. It was just a rifle. And I want to say that it was, you know, some sort of like a relative, I guess, to the M1. Because when I first saw an M1 in a video game, I was like, wait a second, this looks like a gun that the gun that I shot. So either it looked like an M1, or it was an M1, or it was a gun that's similar to the M1, or whatever. Also, in Indian Guides, one of the places that we went to, and I remember this vividly because it fucked up my finger real bad, there's this thing called the Black Hole, I think, right? I'm sure one of you motherfuckers was in Indian Guides or went to some fucking random-ass summer camps around the Illinois, I guess just the Midwest area in general. There were a couple in Wisconsin and Indiana and shit. But there's the thing called the fucking Black Hole, right? Oh, if only I could remember one of the names of one of these camps. Anyway, it was literally the most ghetto shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Holy fuck. So here, let me describe the Black Hole to you, right? It's sold to us, the children, as, yo, it's this rad slide, right? It's a fucking slide and it's cool as shit, right? That's how it was sold to us, more or less. I don't think those were their words, but, here's what it was. I'll describe the Black Hole to you, right? Was it a rad slide? Yeah, for like an 11-year-old, sure. But what it really was is a bunch of that fucking corrugated, like, big-ass, I don't know, just the very, very large piping, right? Corrugated black plastic piping. Big enough to fit a human in, right? That's all it was. A big fucking hill of that. And you hopped on a snow sled and rode down the fucking hole. And then if you got to the bottom and you were fine, then you could get a shirt that said, I survived the Black Hole. That's all it was. And when I went down it, and here's the thing, they tell you a lot, many times, to keep your fucking hands in your dumb sled. They were right, I'll tell you. Keep your fucking hands in that sled, motherfuckers. I will tell you with 100% certainty that it is a mistake to have your hands anywhere but inside that sled. Because, boy howdy, the insides of the Black Hole are not friendly to fingers. Yeah, so it fucked up my finger real good. Real good. There's just like a hole, right? That's all it was. There's just a fucking hole in the tubing. And, my finger fucking got caught in it. I didn't stop, right? I was going down at a pretty high speed, but it stole some of my flesh, I'll tell you that for sure. So some of my flesh is in the black hole over at Camp something or other. I'll never be able to remember its name. One of them starts with like a T. I wonder if I can remember it. I wonder if I can figure it out. I could probably literally just look up Summer Camp Black Hole, like Indiana or something. Probably find it. Also, worth noting, by the way, I now understand how sunglasses work. Thank you for whoever gave me the reference in the comments the last time I had sunglasses when I was very confused about the whole situation. Yeah, cool guys don't look at explosions. So if you're not looking at explosions, that's when you get the slow-mo. Makes perfect sense. It's also a great Lonely Island song. Boy, I fucking hate this level. Alright, whatever. Let's go, boss. I'm pretty sure I should just keep chilling with the triple crossbow. This thing is a fucking beast. I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't pull out Blasphemy. Nor, you know, why I didn't fucking blank. Neither of those make sense in my brain at this point. Yeah, that was good. No, that was... I'll be down here if you need me. Just be down here. Can you fucking attack the boss, you dumb bees? Fucking idiot-ass bees. Well, I have one shot remaining, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna random blank. Fuck me, dude. Alright, well. Alright, sick. Peace. What a great fucking floor. What a great floor. Also, can we just talk about this? Wasn't I just talking about how I got so many repeat bosses? Well, it was with this shit. Wasn't the last run also Beholster into Mind Flayer? And then into Wallmonger? Which, frankly, I'd be fine with Wallmonger. At this point, I've learned Wallmonger quite well. When I was first, like, learning this game, when I was first starting to play it, Wallmonger was the bane of my existence. And I think that probably is true for a lot of people. But at this point, it's like, I don't know, I don't find Wallmonger too bad. Boop, 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 boop. Where are we going, boys? Where are we dropping, boys? So I do have to think that, and I'm sure if I look this up, this will definitely be the case, like 1,000,000%. I had a feeling. I had this gut instinct where I was like, that doesn't look quite right. But I didn't see any movement, so I was just like, you know what, fuck it. What's the worst that happens? It just doesn't move. So it must be the case that either this or I'm just the worst at luck ever. Also possible. I'd say both are pretty equally probable. But knowing how this game works, I would say it's pretty likely that if you enter a floor with no keys, then there's an increased likelihood that the shop will require a key. I don't know that for certain, but there are a few things that actually are dependent on, you know, whether you start a floor with a key or something similar like that. So I feel like that's the case, which is why I always feel like I'm fucked on the shop when I enter a floor with no key. Because I kind of am, because that's kind of the way it works. Alright, let me try and show you guys how bullshit this guy is. Look at that. His fucking animation was completely done. I'm upset that I took damage trying to show that. His animation was completely done, and he had already started flinging bullets to me. Yet, he still was absorbing bullets. That's the shit I was talking about in the last episode, where I just don't want that fucking enemy to exist anymore because of that shit. Because that shit's so stupid. Like, why have the animation? The enemy is like actually invincible to bullets like 90% of the time he's alive. And then he has an animation which shows you why, right? More or less. It shows you like, hey, look, this dude's fucking immune. Alright, I think we actually have a decent shot on this one because of the crutch. So let me just... Pardon. Well, I suppose we no longer have a great shot. How the fuck do you get that guy? Oh, like this. Like a not idiot. How the fuck do you get the... Well, probably the top guy's a similar sort of situation, huh? You probably have to, like, bounce off these green dudes early or something. That's fine. Two is whatever. What are you again? Ah, the cold 45. Right. But yeah, like, the wizard who sucks in your bullets, he has an animation to be like, hey, look, there's a thing happening. And then the bullets are sucked in. So you're like, okay, I make the connection. But then for no fucking apparent reason at all, his animation ends. His animation's only up like 50% of the time that he's alive, something like that. Yet for some reason, he's still immune for like an extra fucking 40% of the time he's alive. It's like, okay, animation's over. I wonder if I can fucking hit him now. Nope. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It makes way more rooms way more difficult. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the bad part. Just make his animation representative of the thing so I know when to fucking start attacking him rather than just like guesswork after the animation's over. That's all I want. Or delete him. Either of those two is totally fine by me. Oh, you son of a bitch. That's... Ooh, that barely snuck in there, dude. Barely snuck in there. Like, I did walk right into it, to be fair, but at the same time, I thought I was low enough, because I already dodged one bullet in, like, the same way, so... Thought I could get two. It turned out I was wrong. Boy, I really hope my shop is not behind a locked door. It is not. Today is a good fucking day. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing here. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck to do there. Like, the platforms are desynced, and they're just nightmarish hellscapes. I don't like it. Not at all. Alright, whatever. You know what? Take him. I got a boy who gives me explosions. I don't want the slowdown. It's gonna throw me off more than it's gonna help me. Probably shouldn't have shot that second one. Thank God. Hammer. Okay. Okay. Let's go down here then. Pretty upset with the amount of armor I've lost. Ooh, yeah, we're rolling these fucking bones, boys. Unsteady and shielded. I don't know what unsteady does, but pretty happy about shielded. That's like pretty much one of the best things that could have happened. Yeah, I'll keep using the triple crossbow. Wallmonger, let's go! Woo! You know, let's just blaspheme it. I don't want to fuck around with other weapons when I can just blaspheme. I also completely lost sight of my cursor there, and I was losing my mind. I'm feeling like there's like a slight delay sometimes when I'm attacking. I don't really know why. Especially because it's like not consistent at all. That was super risky, but we got there. I mean, see, I got nothing wrong with Wallmonger. He's a fucking bro. Pretty stoked with the way this is going, though, so far. This run is, like, pretty fucking sweet. Ah! Where it at? Doe. It's funny that I keep getting blank drops in every single floor. Alright, good enough. I'm not gonna do the most due diligence. I guess I didn't blank in the shop. I probably should have. And there was only one key. I already bought it, so don't freak out about that. Also, we're going to the forge, which can't require a key to enter. Nor is it guaranteed to have keys ever, so who fucking cares? I'm, like, kind of a little scared here. Alright, we're good. This room is a weird one. I've never really enjoyed this room because it has hammers, and I have this distinct hatred for all rooms that include hammers. I guess the good news is, well, never mind. Just won't talk then. Fuck you too, game. Yep, fuck you, game. Fuck your ass. Here's at least 2 bullet sharks. I need 3, right? Spawn 1 more, please. Fuck. That's not 1 more. Also, this is a crazy layout. I've actually never seen the Forge this linear with these big of rooms. Boy, I'm fucking retarded. Holy shit. What is my issue, dude? Jesus. I almost did it again. Alright, I gotta fucking chill, dude. I got problems. Not the good kind of problems. Are there good kind of problems? I mean, I guess so, right? There's like, people always say like, oh, that's a good problem to have. It's a thing people do. Although, to be fair, I've talked about this with my parents a lot. Like, the fuck is with sayings? Just generally, what the fuck is with them? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. How? I want to know the physics behind that. If you throw a stone with enough force to fucking kill a bird, right? And then somehow you're so godlike in your ability to throw a stone, right? That not only does it hit the 1 bird and kill it, a stone, mind you, a stone. I don't know if you guys know this. Stones ain't the most efficient bird-killing devices. But you got enough force to kill a bird, right? And then add on top of it, somehow, someway, there's a second bird somewhere in the mix, right? That gets also hit by the same stone that's already killed 1 bird. I don't understand how I'm supposed to deal with this fucking room. Especially when they won't fucking die when I'm hitting them a million times. But like, that's incredible, right? Like, who gives a shit about sayings at that point, right? Like, why is that turning into a saying? You should fucking, like, I don't know, man, try and get your name out there. Try and be like, hey, I'm the dude who can kill 2 birds with a single stone. Like, why is it turning into a saying? Just fucking swim in puss, you know? And then those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Like, I get the idea behind the phrase, but at the same time, who the fuck owns a glass house except for absolutely ridiculous billionaires of the 21st century? Right? Like, who the fuck else? I'm sure that saying's been around since, you know, before the first glass house was built. Must have been, right? So who the fuck was in a glass house? Who did it? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth? Why should you not look a horse in a mouth? Is the horse... Are they sensitive about the way their mouth looks? And they'd rather you not look at it? I don't get it, dude. Sayings are fucking dumb. Like, in English, they're stupid, right? And if you've ever heard a rough translation of, like, a Chinese proverb into English, you're gonna be like, what the fuck even is this? Because they're somehow even more ridiculous. Sick. Or should I say, rad. Okay. I'm not gonna buy those guns. I want keys. Mostly, I actually want to pop this open, like, right now, I think. And maybe also the green chest. I don't know, we'll see what's behind door number 1. Oh, fuck. I don't really need any of that, but I would take some of it. So let's test. Look. There it was over. If I shot like a microsecond earlier, I promise you though. Promise you. He would have still caught it. Also, the weird thing about saying this, real quick, to finish this idea. The weird thing about saying this is like, a lot of things you assume, you know, they've been around for like eons, and then you find out it's like, no, this saying somebody just fucking came up with it in like 1968. Like, I bet that's the source of the two birds with one stone. Just some dude, really fucking bored, in 1968 was like, what if you could kill two birds with one stone? That'd be sick as fuck. You could be drowning in puss if you could do that shit. And he probably said that verbatim, too. Like, that's probably precisely the words that he used in 1968. I probably should have chosen 1969. But you know what? I chose 68, and I'm gonna stick to it. That's the year I said. That's probably when it came up. When the guy came up with it. It's probably a similar fucking... What, etymology? Is that the term? For, like, the... where the thing came from or whatever. That requires another fucking key to enter. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. There's a chance it wasn't Link. There was a chance it was the fairy fountain, which would have been pretty disappointing. Whoops. But I'm down with this, man. Seen every room. Hello. Oh, fuck yeah, bud. We'll see a bees. Hang on. Let's be smart about this. Alright, well, I did my best. I attempted to be smart. And I guess I was actually smart. Just didn't pay off, unfortunately. Junkin. Sir Junkin. So it is possible for there to be multiple secret rooms, or so I've been told. How much were these? Like 50 something? Or was this one 49? 58, 58, yeah. What else what did you have? Shit that I just cannot afford. Far too rich for my blood. Alright, well, B time, probably. Is it worth using Potion of Gun Friendship? I for some reason that sounded completely incorrect as I said. I think it is worth it. On the bees! More bees! Fuck. Dude, I'm a bitch. I don't understand. There was no opening at any point. Is this even a good gun? Probably not for bossing. I know that this one is surprisingly good at bossing, so I'll just use this, the fishing barrel. Or rather, the barrel that fires fish. I'm also going to save Potion of Gun Friendship for the art phase, because we're basically there. I'm a genius. What's crazy about that, by the way, the damage I took on this fight, is there wasn't an opening that I could see with Blasphemy. That's why I always, like, hate that attack. Because, like, there's just a chance you can't fucking deal with it. It's not the worst attack that he has, but it's pretty fucking awful. Click faster! Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm good at clicking. Holy shit. All those years of Mario Party are paying off. That's actually not true, because Mario Party, I learned how to mash with my thumb, not index finger. Very different. So those are both 58, which I don't have. And I believe the only thing left here is, yeah, health. Is this one cheap? Yeah. Yeah, it's about right. Yeah, it seems right. I wonder if destroying this head can drop money. Yeah, well, I gave it my best. Yo, real talk though, my fucking... One thing that I actually find really fascinating about, like, differences between people is mashing techniques. Going to GameStone Quick events introduced me to many different mashing techniques, because as it turns out, mashing is, like, pretty relevant in some speedrunning. Not a whole lot, but enough that, you know, basically every speedrunner has some amount of mashing experience, probably from just their own game. But I've seen a lot of really fucking wild ones. The way that I do it, though, is like, I can't even fathom doing it a different way. For myself, right? Like, I understand how other people do it the other ways, but like, for myself, I can't even think about the retraining that would be required to do something else. So, my technique is what I perceive to be the absolute classic mashing technique, where what you do is you just put your thumb over the button and you tighten the shit out of your bicep and forearm. I mean, you just tighten your whole arm, right? You tighten it real fucking tight, and all you do is let in some of that wiggle, right? Like when you're flexing, there's a little bit of a wiggle, right? And you just fully lean into that wiggle, not like with your body, but like, I don't know, that's the way that I would describe it, is you just lean into the wiggle that's caused by flexing, right? So you just lock it up and you lean into the wiggle, and it fucking mashes real fast. I mean, I myself, I have timed it, but I need to like get an official retime for how many mashes per second I can get, or how many button presses per second I can get. Because when I did it once, I was like, hot damn, that's a good mash time. And I just assumed that was correct. But then when I did it later, the number was lower. And I was like not, even in the same ballpark. It was like 5 per second slower or something like that. What happened there? So I think that I reached the conclusion, because the controller that I was using when I first tested my mash ability fucking died because the A button ceased functioning entirely. I assume that that's what was doing it. Maybe some like crossed wires or some shit with the A button. I don't know, but I assume there was something going on with the A button to give me the artificially higher number. So I'm gonna need like a new official retime or something like that. But the number with the potentially cheating controller was like, I think it was 21 per second, something like that. And then afterwards it was 16-ish. 16-ish, but also the second timing. Wait, what am I doing? I'm actually out of my mind. The second timing, and now as well, was, it had been a while since I had actually needed to mash for something, so I was out of practice. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But what I will say is that like I can mash pretty fucking fast. And I owe it all to that incredible technique that just I intuited as a child. Which I'm pretty sure describes how everybody has their mashing technique, is just they intuited it while playing Mario Party to kick the shit out of their older brother in Mario Party. Holy fuck. Alright, there we go. And I don't remember, I remember the mini games from Mario Party that required mashing, like the Shy Guy one. But for some fucking reason, I can't actually remember what my records are on any of them, because mostly I just don't remember the metrics. But also there was one of them, I think it actually was the Shy Guy one in particular, where it was a double button mash. And I never was actually good at the double button mash. I don't know why. It's just like a different world in my brain. The double button versus single button mash. Even though it's like theoretically the exact same sort of movement of the hand. I'm going back for the fucking half art. This might... No, there's no way this is a mistake. There's literally no way. I have no source of healing. Never mind. Alright, so it's going to double back on itself. The question is it going to be right or left? I'm going to go left. It tends to be left. In my experience, left is the most common direction before finding Lich. But yeah, there were a bunch of other interesting mashing techniques. I don't remember who had what, but I do recall there was one. I think it might have been TMR, the Mexican runner, who was he the one where you like pinch? So like it's like you're pinching, like you're making fun of Italians, right? But only I guess you're also making the okay sign. Do that, right? And then put where your nails meet. I'm fucking retarded today. Hello, please roll. I hit the roll button. Please stop fucking running, you son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. So yeah, you pinch, and then you put the spot where your nails, like, meet, basically. Over, or near, rather, I guess basically on the edge of the button that you're trying to mash. And then you just fucking wiggle your hand back and forth, like, horizontally over the button, right? Over the edge of the button, specifically. Okay, hang on. I ain't fucking with you. I think that might have been TMR's technique. I don't remember. All I remember is that there's this game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I think literally just called like Olympic Games or something, like some really uninspired name, right? That we were all playing at which GDQ was that? Oh my god! And to be fair, the game also lagged at the exact moment that it was gonna make contact, so like I couldn't react to do anything. Like I don't know, maybe I could have destroyed the bullet or something. Who knows? I mean, you know, who's to say what could have happened if I actually was able to control my character? It's fucking annoying. I think it might have literally just been called like Olympic Games or something. And in it, it was basically just like 20 different games, all themed like, you know, the Olympics, and every single one of them is just a fucking mashing contest. That's it. That's literally 100% of them. And I remember while playing it, God, which GDQ was this? It was AGDQ. AGDQ 2014? Question mark? This is the only AGDQ I went to. Yeah. Yeah. AGDQ 2014. In one of the, or in the practice room rather, because, well, no, they had 3 rooms. I think one was practice, one was like games, like video games, and then one was like board games, something like that. There was something, I don't know, who fucking cares? You guys don't care. Yeah, these two. Anyway, they were all mashing contests, and I beat TMR as well as this guy Dexter what the fuck? In some number of games. It's pretty fucking rad. You guys fucking, like, I don't know, get fucked at some point or something? I don't know, man. Turn it into a chicken. Alright, thank you. Fucking stop. Don't spawn more. Alright, this is not the correct weapon. Oh my god. These bullets. These bullets! They're in such awful spots. Alright, I'm gonna finish him off with the M1. This is fucking Garbo. There we go. There's no more health on the floor because I entered with a half heart missing, right? Yeah, that is correct. Alright, bees, followed by triple crossbow. I don't have many bees, but I'll do my best with the bees that I have. Let's go, bee boys, my bee friends. Woo! I hate it. I hate it. What the fuck is going on in my brain? I literally am incapable of dodging. Okay. Okay. Alright. We got enough health, I think. I'll have to double check when, you know, it shows me. Okay. Oh, fuck. I need weapons. Oh, I got plenty of health. I got 7 hits worth of health. That's fine. And I have 2 blanks, so if it gets really fucking spooky as shit, like this. Keep mashing! God, potion of gun friendship is sick, dude. Ooh, that was honestly a good fucking attempt on his part to hit me. That was a really good attempt. Those two attacks in sequence was definitely like, that should have gotten me. It was close. I'm a little upset that I only saw 2 bullet sharks when I needed to kill 3 for the hunt. I'm just gonna double check though, make sure. There was no pop-up though, so it means the hunt should not have been completed. It was a fun run. It was a very fun run. Is there like a statistics page somewhere for this game? I know that it shows your total deaths in the Ammonomicon. Right here. Is there anything else? Does it actually like show other stuff? Yeah, 1 bullet shark. Fuck. M16. I know the M16 is actually like decent, so I'll buy that. Fuck it, let's just get that out of this stupid shop. All right, Ammonomicon. Do you have anything else for me? Any like totals? What's this? Wait a second. Is it like a boss rush boss or something? It's the only thing I haven't done yet. But I've killed everybody's past, and I fought every other boss. How about regular ass enemies? Have I missed any? Oh, wow, straight missed. And this is like an early enemy. That's interesting. Nope. Wow. There's just 1 completely fucking missing enemy. Alright, and then how's our items doing? Yep, probably like half done. There's so much in here, dude. There is so much in this game. It's absurd. Guns, probably a similar story. Oh, you're goddamn right. Boy, that's gonna be some stuff to unlock, huh? Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe to all the good shit, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow for Slay of the Spire, or in 2 days for another End of the Gungeon. And peace out, dudes.